We should literally see how many videos I can make in a fucking day, because I just highly, doubt that it will be small, because I have that much of not life. But basically, this is just a summary of all of the, 50,000 videos that I deleted over the span of yesterday afternoon to right now. A lot of them were based off of how I felt emotionally, and I usually stay away from that because I just don't feel comfortable. I just don't. Anytime I feel any kind of emotion that I don't feel like will help or negatively impact me, I always stay away from it. If I feel like it'll do something that'll make me feel insecure or anything that I don't personally feel comfortable with, any emotion like that, I stay away from as strongly as I can. And, since last afternoon, or maybe it was even before that, but, last afternoon was when it hit the hardest, I think. But, I just was feeling all of these emotions, and, I didn't want them, and I was trying to push them back, and then I finally accepted them, and they got worse, and then I freaked out when they got worse, because I was like, I can accept feeling them, bubbling beneath the surface, but then when they all of a sudden, literally pop up because I just accepted them, I just couldn't handle it, and so I blocked them off again, fully, I can feel them, but, they're very well diluted, and they're not nearly as present as they were yesterday or, earlier today. Which, money is not a good thing, and I've been thinking about, my past, and, when I was younger, I always loved writing, and how now that I'm older, I've just stopped loving writing. And I think when I first started not liking writing, it was when I first began stuffing my feelings down, when I first began ignoring them, when I first began shutting it out. I don't know how to explain, how I do it. It's been going on for so many years now that it's kind of reflex. But I think when I first started not being able to write was when it started happening, where I was stuffing my emotions. Because I never call myself an artist because I never feel like an artist. But I guess in a way, writing is an artist, being an artist, or an art. And so I guess in a way I am an artist, and I go through blocks or whatever, and a lot of it stems from me trying when I was a kid to I would always I was very sensitive as a kid, always sensitive, always questioning, always curious, always so sensitive. I was so sensitive. I still am very sensitive, but I feel like I'm just trying to bury it so far deep down that I just refuse to acknowledge that I'm sensitive, and don't want to accept that I have any weak points, because just dealing with a lot of the shit that I've dealt with, you just feel weak and vulnerable whenever you feel the sensitivity. So I've never really wanted to, and I think at a young age I was always sensitive, so I was and I've always been a people watcher too, and I feel at a young age I just was so sensitive that I needed an outlet. And since I didn't have the patience even as a kid to draw, I wrote. Because I was already learning how to write anyways. Why not use it for practical use other than just writing, when you need to? And so I would always write stories. And as I grew older and things started happening to me, I just started disliking my negative emotions, and I would stuff them down. But then I realized the more that I stuffed them down, every time I sat down to write, how it used to be second nature to me when I was really young, it started becoming harder and harder to just write, which was scary because it was such a part of me, but I just kind of ignored it. It was oh, it's part of growing up. Whatever. And then, when I was like living in that small, tiny conservative town in Ripon, I kind of focused more on my social life than my personal life, and like just caring about what like other people thought, what other people like felt, instead of caring about like how I felt, how I interpreted things. I always cared about how other people interpreted things and how they felt towards me instead of how I felt towards them. It was more of me wanting to please them. Like, it just was like, I need to like do something, like I don't feel good enough, blah blah blah. That made me lose my like creative mindset even more. Um, and um, and it just completely like faded away almost. And then and I don't think I even realized I was doing it until now, where I'm like finally like actually looking deep into my past instead of like trying to ignore it and like move on or whatever. And I'm actually like looking deep into it and like learning stuff about myself that I haven't even like known my entire life until now, and I'm just now discovering it. It's kind of scary because like these are like big things that have been a part of me since like literally like childhood, and I'm just now realizing that they're a part of me. Um, so it's kind of terrifying, and who just a lot of emotions. um, yeah, I wouldn't. I would say I wouldn't recommend this because it's fucking terrifying, but at the same time, like I would to just like sit down and just think about your past, think about anything that you usually would avoid, and think about why you avoid it and how you avoid it, and then like just think about like how it affects you and how it's helped you and how it's negatively impacted you, and then like why it negatively impacted you, and then just like I don't know, just like delve deep into the thing that's making you uncomfortable. Because when you delve deep into things that make you uncomfortable that you usually are like avoiding, like you just discover stuff about yourself that like you wouldn't have no clue about unless you delve deep into the closet or whatever, the skeletons in your closet, I guess you could say. So yeah, which I'm discovering that like a lot of my writing skills like stemmed from my creativity, and my creativity came from my sensitivity, which as I grew older I kept trying to bury down my sensitivity, which I still am burying down my sensitivity. It just becomes so second nature to me that I don't really know where to start to fix that, and I'm not really sure if I want to fix that yet, because I don't know if I'm like confident enough to be sensitive. It's just every time I've been sensitive, I've gotten hurt. I always get hurt whenever I'm vulnerable, and I'm just afraid of that. So I don't know if I want to do that again. But at the same time, I'm missing this huge part of me, and I want it, but I'm so scared to go for it because it's just to write is just such a, you need to be in like a special, at least for me, I have to be so sensitive when I'm writing because I have to just be in tune with everything. I have to be in tune and picture myself in every kind of situation. I have to like, for my creativity to flow, I need to be sensitive. I need to like feel so I can fully express everything. And I don't really like feeling because of my past and everything, and like it's just terrifying because I don't want to feel, but at the same time I feel like I need to feel because like it's such a big part of me, my writing, and because I'm like stuffing down these feelings and sensitivity, I'm like losing a part of myself, and I don't want to lose this part of myself because it's been such a big part of me since I was a kid, and I don't want to lose it, but at the same time I'm like so scared to go and reach out to it. and I feel like as I've grown older and I've grown like more sure of myself and everything, like I've got like these stable beliefs and everything, and I feel like they give me like a backbone, they give me like courage, and like to stand up for myself, to stand up for others, to like know what's right and what's wrong. And then I feel like when I was younger, I was still discovering things, and I was still sensitive and a sponge kind of to like everything, and that's why I was so sensitive and how I could like write everything. And now that I'm like so accustomed to like stuffing down everything and like rejecting things that I don't feel comfortable with, that I don't want, like a lot of that is like affecting like me as a person, and it's like it's not good. and and it's like affecting my writing, because my writing has drastically changed over the years. Like when I was a kid, it was very cute. Like I remember God, I wish I still had some of the stories. Like there are just so many of them. Like I would literally write them down on napkins if I was bored. Like I was just so filled with these ideas. Like they just kept running towards me all the fucking time. Like when I was a kid, just like looking at a color, I could come up with a story idea almost instantly. And a lot of them were like cutesy little stories. Like I remember one of them was like the zebra family. Like one of them like didn't have stripes, and like the striped zebra family like was like, well, you're weird. Like what's with you? And like this zebra who is all plain like felt like outcasted and like weird, and like I don't remember how I finished the story, but I remember it was something along like how he like learned to accept himself or something, which is so deep because I was just a kid. Like how the fuck did I come up with this shit? Like what the hell? And then as I grew older, like I started to like delve a little bit into romance, and then but I would always get confused whenever I got to the romantic scene, so I kind of just stuck to like adventure and stuff and like my dreams. And then I went, and then as I was like going through like adventurous like writing and like trying to actually like write longer stories, I just would get stuck all the time and get frustrated with myself because I was just so self-criticizing, and I couldn't like do it. I couldn't like deal with like I didn't, because like when you're so vulnerable, like when you write, you like pour everything into it. Like it's not like when you're that sensitive and you pour everything into something like that, like it's like part of your soul or your heart or whatever the fuck you want to call it is there. Like it's there and you're showing it to someone and they're criticizing it. And it's like the deepest part of you that they're criticizing. So it, like, obviously you're going to be sensitive about that. And when I was a kid, I kind of brushed it off and didn't really care that much because I was just a kid, like, ooh, la-di-da-di-da. Then, like, as I grew older and was, like, putting more, like, dreams and thought into it, like, more of me and my dreams and my deep thoughts into it, like, I just got more sensitive towards it. And, so, like, whenever someone criticized it, even a little bit, I would freak out and be like, oh my god, I have to rewrite the whole thing, like, it's not good enough. Or I would just, like, compare it to some other writing piece of work that I really loved, and, like, would compare it to that, be like, oh, I'm copying them, or oh, this is not good enough, like, the grammar is, like, fucked up, like, oh my god, I need to fix it, like, but then I would just get stuck because I would just, like, fix it, but then I would lose my train of creativity, and then I would get stuck, and then I would just be like, fuck this, like, I can't do it, like, damn it, like, I'm done. And then I would just get mad and I couldn't do it because I just couldn't do it. And then so that's when my creativity like kind of halted. And then I started writing poems because I went through like my little emo phase. It was just like, I need help, blah blah blah. And then my poems, I realized anytime I wrote a poem, it didn't really help me, because whenever I wrote a poem, I was always angry, or I was always sad, or if I wasn't sad or angry, I would make myself sad or angry because I felt like I needed to write something, but I couldn't bring myself to have the creativity and the strength to push through an actual story. So I made myself upset to write poems because that was where the only writing satisfaction I found. So when I realized how negative my writing poems was, I was just kind of like, no, stop. And then, so I stopped writing poems, but I still can't bring myself to write anything creative. And then I found my love and my resolve towards like opinions and everything, and like the safety of it, the facts, like the reality of it. And I just like grew like to love that kind of writing, and like that's where my strength in writing is right now. But like sometimes I get the itch, sometimes I get the bubble, and I just want to write, but I just like stare at the paper and I'm just like, you can't do it because you're too scared. Like you can't, like something's gonna happen and you're gonna screw up and then you're gonna feel like upset about it for weeks, Angela. Like you don't want to do that to yourself, do you? No. Okay, so move on. And like I just like will just like forget about it, and like I've just grown so accustomed over the years to like just ignore the urge to ignore it and just like push it back and be like, yeah, whatever, we're fine. Like I just ignore it. Watch other people be creative, be like fawning over them, and like be almost jealous that they can just be so open and like non-caring, that they're just so like, I don't know, like they're just so like brave to just let it out and like let people judge it. Like I can't. I just get so nervous and like scared. Like they're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate me. Like this is a part of me. They're gonna hate me. Like I can't deal with the judgment, and I can't deal with it. And then so like I started focusing more on like my social life and less on myself, and more on like other people and other things that's going on that's real or whatever, instead of what's going on inside. And every time I felt anything that was like going on inside that wasn't like anything personal, any personal emotion like from my past or anything just like personal that I felt like could negatively affect anyone, I would just stuff down. And for a while I was just Miss Sunshine Girl, and like I loved everyone, like oh my god, and I still am kind of like that, but I've kind of like grown resentful of the fact that I just refuse to accept myself and allow myself to be like how I actually feel. And I'm not saying that I'm not honest, because I am honest with how I feel like in the moment, but like I just feel like I'm just so accustomed to like stuffing down anything that like I'm not used to, that I haven't felt in years, that I'm just like so accustomed to doing that like it's not that I'm like lying or like hiding stuff on purpose, and I'm not like really lying. It's more of like, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like lying by not like actually telling something. And I think that's what I've like done and have been doing for like, I don't fucking know how many years. And it's just gotten to the point where I'm like lying to myself. And that's not good when you lie to yourself and you don't even know you're lying to yourself. Like that's kind of pathetic, actually. And so like, but then now that I like realize what's going on within me or whatever, like I'm still terrified, because how I am now, it's stable. I'm in control. I know what's going on and like how I feel. And then the minute I go to how I was when I was a kid, like with my creativity and like accept a part of who I am, I feel like it's gonna like unravel everything. I feel like it's like a hurricane that's just gonna like fucking like, or a tornado that's gonna just like screw up everything. It's gonna like tear apart everything I've built. And just like being like, no, fuck that, like creativity, like let's draw, like let me draw all over your like secure stuff, let me break it for the sake of passion. Like I like my stability, okay, but at the same time it's really like people look at it and from a certain angle it looks so strong, and then you look up. Or you wait, no, I have an idea. Okay, so it's like you see like cardboard houses or something, and like from the outside they like suppose the artist is really good at like drawing or whatever, and like from the like side angle, like from the ground view, they look like realistic and you feel like you could live in those houses. And then you go like bird's eye view and they're like, you realize they're just like fake, like little like thin cardboard houses. They're not real, like you can't live there, blah blah. That's how I feel my stable ground is right now. And I feel like once I go into my like sensitive like real personality or whatever, like I feel like that's just gonna like blow on my little stable cardboard houses and they're just all gonna fall down. And like I'm just not gonna know what's like, I don't know what's gonna happen when those houses fall down. I don't know like what I'm gonna turn into. Like I don't know what's like, as of right now, like I just feel so like stable, but I know I'm not gonna be this way forever. And like I just am like terrified of like this little cardboard house is being blown down because I don't want them blown down. I don't want them blown down, but I know they're not gonna stay up forever. At the same time, I'm just in denial. Like, no, I refuse. Like, they're my houses. Like, I worked hard on these houses. Like, don't tear them down. And I know. That's probably a weird ass analogy. People are like, what? Child? What? And I'm just kind of like, yes, I know. I just don't know what to think anymore. I just don't know. But this was a lot shorter than my other videos. I was literally like almost crying and being all like, poor me, I don't understand what's going on with my brain. Like, at least now I like kind of understand it. So I'm like not that upset about it, but I'm like positive I'm afraid. So that's great. Yeah. Dada. Did I just say dada? What the fuck is wrong? Okay. Yeah. I just feel like also with like when I go like decide to like finally be my sensitive self or whatever, like I don't know, like I feel like all my beliefs and everything is gonna be torn apart. I feel like my so-called strength is not gonna be there anymore. Cause over the years I've just kind of like been trying to be the strongest person that I can be, but deep down I feel weak, and I feel like once I go into my sensitive state, like I'm truly gonna be weak and vulnerable, and people are gonna like hurt me, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it because I'll be fully in my sensitive state, not be able to like step out of it. Like I'll be trapped crying, and I don't want to feel that way again. I want to do that, but at the same time I do, because I feel like I'm missing such a big part of me. At the same time I'm such afraid. I'm so afraid to like just go reach out to that part of me. Like it's just I don't want to. Oh, okay, that's great. Also, like this is probably my third headache today that I've been feeling coming on. And every time I say I'm starting to have a my grandma's just headache, my grandma's just kind of like, well, you know why it's happening? And I'm just like, why? She's always like, because you're on your phone all the time. And I'm just like, no, actually, bitch, it's because I'm sick. Thanks for your concern, though. I feel like now I feel stable because I have like a backbone. And I feel like once I'm sensitive, I won't have a backbone anymore. And I don't want to have not a backbone because I don't know if I'm going to be able to protect myself. I don't know if I'm going to be able to protect others. I don't want to be hurt. That's my main issue with going into my sensitive creative state. I want to be a weak child. Like I want to protect people, not be protected. Like just every part of me rebels against it, but then there's also a very large part of me that's like, but you're missing something, aren't you? And I'm just like, shut up. I don't need like that part of me. And they're just like, really? Okay, is that why everything you feel is fake? It's not really fake. It's just, it's not like truly there. I don't know. Yeah, probably making no fucking sense. And people are like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? Like, I don't follow her at all. Like, I haven't been watching her, so yeah, that makes sense. We're great over here. Totally not losing my shit. Okay. Hello there. Whoa. Dumbass cough. Also, I feel like once I'm in my sensitive state, like I might like lose all of the passions and like dreams that I have now, because all of my dreams are based on my personality right now. Once I go into that sensitive creative state, what if I'm so vulnerable that I don't feel confident enough to do anything that I like actually dream of doing? Like, what if I grovel to people? Like, no, I refuse. No, we're not. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to become that. I just don't trust myself. Which is really sad when you don't trust yourself. It's just that, like, I've shut down that part of myself for so long that I don't understand it. I don't know how to protect that part of myself. I don't know, like, what's gonna happen when I accept that part of myself, because I've never talked to it for, like, fucking years. Like, okay, like, do you understand why I'm afraid right now? Like, it's like fucking having, like, an evil, what are they called? It's like in the stupid, drama shows or anime where like you have like a double personality or something, and like you don't know about this personality because it has to do with like your secret powers or whatever, and then like discover these powers, and then like you accept the powers, and then all of a sudden, whoa, I have another personality that goes along with these powers. It's kind of like those like werewolf movies where like you have someone else, but everyone like feels comfortable with their wolf, like in all of those werewolf books and stuff. And I'm just kind of like, if this is supposed to be my wolf, like, what the hell am I being so uncomfortable about? Like, shit, like, I don't know how to protect it. I don't know how to control it. Like, maybe I should talk to a werewolf. Like, I don't know how to control this part of me. Like, please help. Like, does everyone deal with this shit? Like, seriously, like, honestly, I would love to know. No one probably deals with it. It's just me. That's great. No. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm so contradictive. Like I'm such a contradictive person, because like I have this like personality in me that I've like grown and like had for like my entire life, and then I've had this like childhood personality that I've stuffed down for so many years, but it's still slightly present in every single decision that I make. And then maybe that's why I'm so contradictive, because like this other side of me is just so different. I don't want it. I don't want to accept it, but I just like feel like I'm rejecting this big part of me that I don't want to like not accept it. But like, why the hell did I not even realize this for like fucking years? Like, how long has it been? I don't even know. Like, that's just how subconscious it was in my brain, and it's not figuring that fucking out. Like, Jesus. Oh my god, what if I didn't have eyebrows? Wait, hold on, let's see. What would I look like without eyebrows? Oh my god, I look like a fucking alien. Oh, not everyone can pull off the Jenner Marbles look. Yeah, plus I kind of like my eyebrows because they remind me of Disney villains, and I'm just kind of like, oh, hi. I'm gonna murder your ass. Hello. I also might turn into a dragon, you know, like Aurora's monster. Or whatever the thing is called. Maleficent. Maleficent. That's such a fun word to say. I didn't even realize that till now. Maleficent. Maleficent. Like, I just feel like so dramatic saying it. Like, Maleficent. No, we're gonna stop there. Like, I'm just gonna stop embarrassing myself right now because, like, it's okay. It's okay. How many times have I talked to the camera today? Let's see. 4? This would be my 4th time, not considering the times that I've talked into a camera and not posted it, so about 20. That's great. Oh, I'm feeling so secure right now. Jesus. Oh, this is a whistle? I can blow on it? Nah, I probably shouldn't do that. But like, fun. Koblenz. Koblenz? How do you pronounce this? Koblenz? Like. Also, I forgot to feel like Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean because this is the compass. Was anyone else freaked out when he had like that weird like black pearl hand thing? That freaked me out so much when I first watched it. I was just like, fuck that. Like, it's so fucking creepy. I mean, he looked hot with it, but like, it was still fucking creepy. Oh, also, like, I remember probably the grossest thing that I've ever seen in my life when I was younger was when Jack Sparrow was like tied to the fucking boat and like that weird kraken thing like came up and like the mucus just went all over him. Like, ugh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Oh, she got him good though. She got him real good. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done talking about myself, you think? Maybe I have split-type personality disorder. I don't fucking know. Oh wow, get a good look at my pearls and freckles. That's great.